So thank you for joining me, another video from the DKS group. So this is the continuation. The last one we spoke about the filters in a business, the deputies, or I call them deputies, some people call them managers. And this time the communication is on the team and the staff. So let's jump quickly straight in. I'm Andy Deeks, I'm one of the directors of the DKS group. It's been a busy week and we've been working with clients and we've been talking with their team. And we don't do sales training, we do team building. And this comes from our sporting background. You know that we are really into our sports and we're engaging the team and the way the team work. And we think this is critical. It's not about individuals, it's how a team performs. And obviously we've spoken at length about you as an owner, as a business leader, creating the environment that your staff flourish. We've spoken about you work for the staff work for the customer, and the customer works for the business. So in this video, we're going to talk about the staff. We're going to talk about how my perception of the staff work. Now, everybody in your team has a position. So let's use our sporting analogy. Football. It's quite easy to understand. We have a goalkeeper at the back who passes it to the defenders, who pass it to the midfield to the attackers who score. Now, there are rare occurrences that the goalkeepers score, and there are rare occurrences that the strikers end up stopping goals. But let's look at that. Each one is as valuable as each other player, each other team member. They all overlap, they all step up, they all help each other. It isn't always about bum, 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 bum going forward. The flow goes backwards and forwards through the team, they pass it amongst themselves. Now, I was at a sporting corporate venue, the other video, and you saw down a track similar to this one, and I talked about how they overlapped. And I want to tell you, well, I've already told you that it's in one of my videos way back, and it's on the website. It says, is your receptionist making you money? And you're going to go, and okay, yeah, I'll have a read of that. So tell me more. Well, at the end of the day, a team in a sports team all overlap. One is not superior to the other. The goalkeeper is needed, the defenders are needed, the midfielder needed, the attacker needed. And this is how it works in your business, and which is why we do team training and team communication. We talk about active listening. We talk about open questioning. There's no I in team. And there's something that some of my business colleagues and some of the businesses I've worked with know me very well for. I will never say, what can I do for you? I ask, what do you need? And you're going to go, and that's a different perspective. Exactly. If you know that the man in front of you is a builder and he says, what can I do for you? And you want some plumbing done, you might say, well, actually nothing, you're a builder. If he says, do you need any help? What do you need? Well, I need a plumber. Not a problem. My friend Bob is a plumber. So think about this in your retail environment. Think about this in your showroom. At the end of the day, you might have a meet and greet. You might have a receptionist. If the receptionist is quite ears open, they might know the product, they might not. So it's, do you need any assistance? How are you today? Open questions that encourage a communication, a conversation. Now, this I believe is critical, and it's something we work very hard with our clients to do, is taking the you, the I, out of the situation. Now, this worked very well in the car game. Obviously, one of our other directors, Michael, that's all he does is work in the transport and the motor trade. Very highly qualified, very highly respected. And he works very much that parts guys know about parts, service guys know about service, mechanics know about mechanics, car sales know about car sales. But there comes a point that if the customer comes in and talks to the first person they see, you've only got one chance. Now, that might be the receptionist, that might be the mechanic, but if the conversation, the communication is about anything in particular you're looking for, can I point you in a particular direction? Is there anything that you need? Taking I out of it, because it might be that you actually know all about the car that they're looking for, but you're trying to quantify the question. Now, I said in one of my other videos, I did some work, I had a little magazine when we were in the motor trade and we wrote a sales process and a sales funnel. But at the end of the day, that was purely about communication. It was about asking and active listening. How are you today, sir? How are you today, madam? And if you don't know, you went and got a fellow team member. So you then passed it on, because it reassured the customer that you go, apologies, sir, I don't know as much about that as my colleague. Will you give me 5 minutes? So the colleague comes and you go, this gentleman here was looking at X, Y, Z. You know more about that. If I can be of assistance, let me know. And you take a step back. The customer then feels reassured that they're getting the better person. Now this happens overlapping, and we've worked with businesses where the receptionist, the sales staff overlap and mix regularly. So if a salesman's dealing with somebody, they'll go and get somebody else. It's not about being the big I am, it's about working as a team. Now you know how this works. DKS, sporting background. The best teams that communicate, the best teams that have a plan win. You're going to go, and well, yeah, look at Man United, look at McLaren, look at Ferrari, look at around the world yacht race. They all have a plan. They all can overlap each other's strengths and weaknesses. And you're going to go, and hang on. You're talking about the leaders empowering the staff. The leaders work for the staff. Yes, this is where the staff take this communication. They're allowed to talk, they're allowed to communicate, they're allowed to work. Okay, that makes sense. Tell me more. Well, yeah, it is. It's as simple as that. You empower your staff are empowered to do things. They can go and make decisions. But the staff need to work with other members of staff. A bit like the football analogy. The goalkeeper needs to kick it to a defender. The defender's got a job to do, the midfield have got a job to do, and they all start orchestrating around to make that play work. Sometimes it falls down, but at the end of the day, they don't then shout and scream. They get back on and go, okay, bit of a weakness on the left-hand side, we'll build that up. So it's about team building. It's about working this team together. Now, in the last video, we mentioned how F1 worked. The driver calls through, I've got a problem with my car. The team, the engineers, the mechanics, the tyre men, the wheel men, all work together, pass it back down to the filter. The filter's cleaned and unblocked, and it's like, yep, press A, B and C and it's ready to go. Well, having worked in F1, and some of our team have worked in various motorsports, you work as a team, you sleep as a team, you play as a team, and the team get the results. You lift each other, you overlap each other's negativities, you build each other up, you work together. And obviously I talked earlier in my Instagram that I got the FT this week, and I was having a look at a couple of businesses that I've been following. One here in the UK called Gymshark. Young lad started out as a pizza delivery boy. He's inspired his team. If you watch his videos, constantly talking about how much his team do, how he supports them, how he works for them. That business within a matter of a few years has now gone to $1 billion. And the big one on the front of the FT was the Apple. You've probably all seen it, the Apple shares. Apple is now a $2 trillion business. Now, from people I talk to in the city, it's about that team, it's about that empowerment, it's about building that team so they all overlap, doesn't matter who they are or what they are, they all step up, they all work, chain of command, no blocked filters. It works because if you encourage your team, your staff, to do open communication, and it's something that I say all the time, there's no I in team. Think about the difference. What can I do for you means it's all down to me. I'm going to take the glory. Whereas if I say to you, what do you need? It's a different connotation. What do you need? You might tell me, well, I'm looking for this or I need that. Well, that's genuinely not me. That's one of my colleagues. Let me get them for you and you've got a better person to deal with. The customer feels reassured that they're not getting fobbed off. They're getting somebody genuine and somebody knowledgeable. And all of a sudden makes a big difference to the mindset. So in this video, we've basically covered that the leaders work for the staff work for the customers. And this is the staff communication. So the staff working with the customers, and the customers then will build up. So the next video, we're going to talk about the customers, how we train and educate the customers to be advocates, to be ambassadors and support and grow your business. They are your unpaid sales force. So in a nutshell, the leaders work for the staff work for the customers work for the business. Been saying that 20 years. Leaders create the environment. We've got to sort out the manager thing, getting your filters unblocked. That was from the last video. And obviously we've mentioned two major players one in the UK and one globally, that have been working as a team. As I say, if you watch Gymshark's videos, they are phenomenal, constantly empowering his team, allowing them to run with ideas and just sitting back. Comes back to that monkey management book I was telling you about. It's about letting your team develop, letting your team go forward, giving them, nurturing them, empowering them, communicating for them to go forward. So take this as we go into the weekend. I've got another day of corporate networking. I've got a weekend of business networking, corporate networking. At the end of the day, I love it. I love talking to people. I love listening to people, understanding their problems and their issues and creating solutions. Now that's what DKS is about. We actually create the solutions. We listen to you, we understand you, we do a little bit of coaching, a little bit of consulting, and we kind of go, right, where do you want to be? Where would you like to have? What would you like to do? And sometimes it's not me personally. I've got, team of consultants, team of coaches, even some of our fitness people come on board, and we then empower you to do what you need to do for your business. And it is about giving you the tools, so hence these videos. Purely about empowering you, making you think, having a light bulb moment and go, and I'm the boss, I own the firm, but if I empower them staff, they'll work for me. And the more I let them do and the more they empower me, the more work comes back in, the better off I am and the better the business grows. Oh yes, that's how it works. So your staff should overlap their positions, step up when needed, only if you empower them, only if you engage them, and only if you talk to them with a sense of responsibility and respect. You build trust is both ways, and we've spoken about the filter being blocked, and we've spoken about now your active listening. It's not what I can do for you, it's what do you require, what do you need, what do you need assistance with? Is there anybody that can help you? It's a different language, and obviously then we train the team in team building to understand, to listen for do they speak in visual, do they speak auditory, or do they speak in feelings? I see what you're saying, I hear what you're saying, I feel what you're saying. To understand and take time. This works in most retail environments. We've done garden centres, spas, we've done high street shops, we've done jewellers, we've done shoemakers, we've done all kinds of things we've worked with, and obviously the sporting world. And it is purely communication is key. So I'll leave that with you. You are the leader, you're the owner, you create the environment. The better the environment, the better the staff will work. We know that. You've only got to look at teams, sporting teams, champion teams, look at Gymshark, look at Apple, as I say, on the front, $2 trillion company. And everybody's got a slice of the shares, and the shares now have gone up. Should we say, when I was buying shares, they were a few £100 each. Now they're up into the thousands of pounds per share. So that company is purely global. And you've got to have a look at this, at how your business is communicating, how your business is growing, how the brand is developing because of the team. So just take that in mind. So we'll go back a step. You create the environment your team and your staff work in, and they work and they flourish. You work for your staff, the staff work for the customer works for the business. So in the next video, we're going to be purely talking about how we engage the customer and make the customer work for us. They're going to be business advocates, they're going to be brand ambassadors. So we'll talk about that in the next one. But for today, think about taking the I out of your team. It's not what I can do for you, it's what would you like? What do you need assistance with? Think about the active, open questions. Anyway, have a good day, take care, see you soon.